What started off as what was supposed to be a victory lap by Biden's Justice Department quickly became a can of worms that they had no intention of opening. The Department of Justice proudly announced that the FBI had arrested a 27-year-old Afghan national living in Oklahoma City, of all places, for allegedly plotting an Election Day terrorist attack, a mass murder, a massacre on behalf of ISIS. And as it turns out, he was here on a special visa given to him by Biden and Kamala in September of 2021 after they screwed up the Afghanistan withdrawal, right? And tells you all you need to know about our vetting process. But when asked about it, Alejandro Mayorkas, our DHS secretary, and cringe, couldn't tell us anything about it at all.
I'd be pleased to discuss this issue at a different time, but I am here to speak about disasters that have impacted people's lives.
I cannot comment on this directly because it is an active investigation, as you know, that the Department of Justice is currently moving forward with, so I'm going to be really careful. What I can say is every Afghan national who entered the U.S. was screened and vetted.
Yeah, screened and vetted to make sure they were with ISIS. How did that work exactly? And that's not all. NBC Fake News is now reporting that the would-be mass murdering Election Day terrorist with ISIS previously worked for, stand by, the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency in Afghanistan, as they tell us now, a security guard. But much like the administration, the CIA also declined to comment. Imagine that, a no comment from the CIA, nothing to see here. Now, that's a pretty amazing story. And Jason, the guy was vetted, right? That's what they're telling us today, is he was vetted. Turns out he's up to his eyeballs in ISIS, and he recruited some underage person to join him in an Election Day massacre, had weapons and ammunition and all this and ready to go. And thankfully, they were stopped. But it turns out now he was working for the CIA in Afghanistan, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. One of the things that, from reading this, I'm starting to believe that he was radicalized here over the internet. They said that he was communicating with somebody over Telegram, and that's how he may have been radicalized. The CIA and all these other organizations haven't really stated when and where he was radicalized, but he probably didn't have those ISIS ties while he was in Afghanistan. Now, as far as what he was doing and what he was Googling, one of the things he was Googling that I found kind of interesting, they say, was which states have permitless gun carry laws? And, I'd always been told by people on the right that that criminals don't care about the law and gun laws. And apparently he was actually Googling which states he could carry his weapon in. So I thought that was interesting. But as far as him being tied to the CIA, they're going to have to, at some point after he's tried, going to have to give us the information.
So Foldi, whatever he was Googling online, and I'm not going to assume that he was radicalized after he got here, but since he was planning on committing a mass murder terror attack, he probably wasn't too concerned about open carry laws.
Well, given how much the Biden administration has funneled directly and indirectly to radical Islamic terrorists in the Gaza Strip, building them up here, maybe the guy was actually expecting that he would be supported by the Biden administration. And what I think is important, there's a lot we don't know here, but thinking back to August and September 2021, what happened in the evacuation, that was a complete lie from Karine Jean-Pierre saying that the people were vetted. They were not vetted. They wanted to say we evacuated the largest number in history. That's what they want to say. They want to say larger than Dunkirk. So they put a bunch of people who did not belong in the United States on these planes. We have no idea who some of these people are. And perhaps almost as bad, they abandoned a lot of the people who we should have been taking out of Afghanistan just so they could say we hit six figures. And the other thing that's important, I don't know if this was the case here, but the woman who was in charge of the SIV visa program is just another example of how everyone has been promoted, no one has been fired, no one has taken responsibility for this. She was promoted to be the ambassador to Iraq. So we've learned absolutely nothing from all of these disasters. And, the chickens perhaps are coming home to roost.